Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Paramanandamadhavam. Om Achaturvadano Brahma Dvibahuraparo Harihi Abhalalochana Shambhu Bhagavan Badarayanaha. Om Dakshine Lakshmano Yasya Vame Cha Janakatmaja Purato Marutiryasya Tam Vande Raghunandanam. On Lakshmana's inquiry about the quickest way of crossing over the ocean of samsara, Bhagavan Ramchandraji step by step guides Lakshmana and guides us through Lakshmana. That performance of our duties as a dedicated offering to the Lord, Karma Yoga, is the first step which gives us purity of mind, endowed with which we approach a Guru, a Sadguru, the knower of the truth and the one who takes us to the truth, and submit to him, serve him, and at the right time, when the Guru wants us to, we ask questions also. The Guru instructs us first on what all qualifications we need to have, how we need to think, what is the main subject matter of the scriptures, who really I am. I am not any of these instruments like the body, mind or intellect that I am using, but I am that pure consciousness, the Supreme Self. Indicating the oneness of that Self with the substratum of this whole universe, Brahman. The Guru further helps us think wherever needed, logically also. And after this Shravanam, listening to the instruction, Mananam, that is reflection upon whatever is listened to, one gets a doubtless knowledge, and still we find that we are not able to experience that about which we have no doubt. So for that is advised the next step, which is called Nididhyasanam, or practice of meditation. In this path of knowledge, as we progress from one step to the next, we find one by one our support keeps reducing and we have to go by ourselves. Initially, we had the Guru to instruct, we could listen. After that, senses are also not to be used, only mind to reflect. Yes, in the stage of reflection, there can be discussion also where the senses could be used. But primarily, it is the function of the mind and intellect. And then, going further, in the practice of meditation, we need to go beyond this mind also. So, that also doesn't serve as a support for us. So, then what do we do? How do we reach that supreme state? How do we abide in that knowledge which is beyond all instruments, all expressions of instruments, and all that we have understood so far? So that becomes a big challenge. And without any support to walk these unknown, unfamiliar quarters becomes a little daunting. So for that, the scriptures themselves, here Shri Rama gives us this beautiful technique of upasana, and the greatest of these upasanas mentioned in the Upanishad, that is Omkara Upasana. Upasana is when on something ordinary, the Supreme is superimposed, and through that which is familiar or which is known, through that we can go to the unknown. This superimposition is different from that which arises due to ignorance. Because when there is ignorance, we also imagine and superimpose something else. I do not know myself, I imagine myself to be something else. That is also called superimposition. But in Upasana, this kind of exercise is actually to reach that supreme, to know the truth or gain that knowledge, abide in that knowledge, through consciously superimposing the idea of the Supreme on something that is very familiar and ordinary. So, Omkara is that symbol, the sound symbol, which has 3 matras which are expressed, and there is a 4th that is called silence, which is unexpressed. So, the expressed 3 matras are A, U, Ma. And it was indicated that A is to be used as the symbol to signify or to denote or to indicate or to take our mind to the waking state, the person experiencing the waking state, and all the experiences of the waking state. So, Vishwa and his world of experiences. Similarly, the matra U is the one symbol that is taking us to, through our own superimposition, our own upasana, it takes our mind to Taijasa and its world of experiences. And M is indicating Prajna and his world of experiences. There is no experience other than oneself, but there is no experience of oneself also because there is ignorance. So this kind of upasana, but it was said which stands for the waker and the waking state of experiences, is to be merged with U, that is the dreamer and the dream state of experience, and that U is to be merged into Ma, that is the sleeper and the experience of nothingness in that sleeping, and that also is to be merged into silence. That stands for that unexpressed pure consciousness which is my true self. So, in other words, I am withdrawing from outside, slowly coming within, and I reach that state of stillness which is my true nature. So just the chanting of Om, if this upasana is practiced, just the chanting of Om or even listening to that Om will take us to that self. So that is the power of upasana. So having said that, we had seen till verse number 51, where Bhagavan gave little details about this Omkara Upasana, and then this practice has to keep continuing. And Omkara Upasana is one thing that he has said that is not necessarily to be practiced by everybody, it is need based. But the practice of meditation for the abidance in this knowledge is essential, that we need to do. And so, how does this continue? How long does it need to continue? When will I really get it? So, all that is being talked about further, and in a way also talking about the vision of that realized person. So, further shlokas. So, we will read the 52nd verse. Evam sada jata paratma bhavanah swananda tushtaf parivismritakhilah आस्ते स नित्यात्म सुख प्रकाशकः साक्षात् विमुक्तो अचलवारि सिन्धुवत् साक्षात् विमुक्तो अचलवारि सिन्धुवत्. We all have heard Kabir Das ji saying, सुख में सुमिरन सब करे दुख में करे ना कोई, जो सुख में सुमिरन करे तो दुख काहे को होए. Now this Sumiran is talking about Sumiran of the Lord. Here, a person who is practicing meditation, this advanced seeker of the path of knowledge, his way of approach is opposite. Here he is saying, Evam sada jata paratma bhavanah. This way, due to practice, evam means in this manner, as has been indicated earlier, evam sada jata atma bhavanaha. Constantly the one who is abiding in the self, where that wrong notions are all slowly getting dissolved, and the real knowledge, that abidance in that knowledge is increasing, deepening. Sada, continuously. When that is happening, Swa Ananda Tushtaha, one who is happy in his own self, doesn't depend on any things or beings or experiences or places or anything for happiness. He is abiding in his blissful self. Such a person, Sukh mein, what happens? Vismrita Akhila. Parivismrita Akhilah means सुख में संसार का सुमिरन ना करे. Turned around. What is Kabir ji? What is saying? That when we are happy with samsar, we forget this Paramatma. But for a jnani, he is so happy in that self that he forgets the samsar. And that is true. Because if we are happy, we forget. But now being happy and forgetting is a weakness. Whereas for a jnani, that is his strength. Parivismrita akhilah. Akhilah means everything. Vismrita means forgetting. Parivismrita means from all ways, in all ways he is forgotten, completely gone. Nothing affects him. Oh, does that mean that he will not recognize me after realization? So I am Shishya, Guru realized, gone. Now, who are you? Why did you come here? So, will he not recognize? It is not saying that. Parivismrita means that then nothing will affect him. He will understand. Parivismrita more is talking about his own upadhis. That notion that this is me, that thing will go away. Then he won't even remember. See, this is all very natural that happens to us also. When we are not well, when there is some illness, we somehow try to think how it used to be when I was healthy. We feel that we have forgotten that state. And then we say, I will never do anything, no, such kind of indiscipline and excesses and all. I will change my lifestyle, all that. Because that time, that only I remember. I forget all those things. Then when I come back to good health, then I forget that state. That I had promised myself that I will lead a healthy life. All that gone. Now again, back to same kind of habit. This is exactly here also. This, when one realizes who I am, then even the memory of I used to think this, this I am, that also goes. Means, how can this be me? See, even a wrong notion like a dream, when we are in the dream, we feel it is real. Soon after waking up, we also narrate that dream and say, oh, this is what happened, all those things, little bit we remember. After 2 days, parivismrutaha, gone completely. What I am talking about? When? No, you only told me yesterday that you had this dream and you thought you were an elephant. I may look like one, but I never think that I am an elephant. So, I forget completely that possibility itself is not there for me anymore. That is what is parivismritakhilaha. He is abiding in his self. He has found who he is. Now he knows who he is. After that, no wrong notions are even remembered. So troubling him comes later. He doesn't even remember those. Oh yeah. Then what does he do after that? After that, all the spice of life has gone. He must be really bored. Because nothing to do. Because goal achieved. Now what does he do? He says, Aste. Saha Aste. He sits. Oh, he sits only. Matlab, he doesn't walk around and sits means he lives. He may sit, he may stand, he may walk, he may lie down, he may speak, he may not speak. It is all up to him. Why? Because what is he experiencing? Nitya Atma Sukha Prakashakaha. He is constantly experiencing that unbroken, eternal bliss of the self. So it really doesn't matter whether he is walking around or if he is sitting. That Mahatma, he kept walking. Suddenly he turned his direction opposite side, started walking back. Somebody said, what happened? You are going back. Where are you going? If you forgot something, I will go and get it for you. He said, what forgot and where are you going? I'm going nowhere. He said, then why did you suddenly change your direction? He said, the winds were blowing from behind, my hair was coming on my eyes. So I turned around so that now the winds are coming from forward, so hair will go behind. It was disturbing me, that's all. I don't want to reach anywhere. One man was sitting under a tree happily. And then this person in the car going round and round and round, there only, unable to find the way. His wife said, ask somebody. No, we'll figure it out. Nothing could be figured out. Then finally, no choice. He came to this man. He was very happily sitting. So he said, do you know this place where it is? So he said, are you the one who went round 3-4 times? He said, no, don't talk about all those things. Now you tell me, where is this place? Do you know or not? He said, no. You don't know this much also and you're sitting like this? Because person who is frustrated feels others are all, whoever is happy is wrong. So how dare you sit like this? You don't know this much also. So that man coolly said, I may not know where this place is, but I am not lost. You are lost. I am not lost because I don't want to go there. I have reached where I have to reach. Over. So Nitya Atma Sukha Prakashakaha Sakshad Vimuktaha. He is Vimukta. Mukta means free. Vimuktaha, completely free. He Sakshat is a personification, embodiment of that liberated person. His direct experience of that Supreme Self. Like what? He is there. So he is moving on. He is moving. He is sitting. He is going around. He is not going around. Any example is there? How is he? He says, Achala Vari Sindhuvat. Beautiful example. Vari Sindhu. Sindhu means ocean. Vari means waters. Waters of the ocean. Now, the ocean is so vast that when we stand at the shore, we understand that till the horizon we only see waters. The vastness of the ocean. But we always see waves rising and falling in the ocean. But here the example is not just the ocean. He is saying that ocean, that Sindhu, which has Achala Vari, means the waters of this ocean are still. How will that be? Even in a lake, we find so many waves coming up. What to talk of ocean? But if we can even imagine that vast expanse of waters without rising of a single wave, not even a ripple, just still waters, not frozen, still waters. Even the wavy waters, they elevate our mind, make our mind calm. They have that calming effect because anything vast and infinite does have that calming effect. That is why one saint used to say that whenever the mind is disturbed, if you have nothing else to fall back on, look up in the sky. That vast expanse itself has a calming effect. So here also, even with the waves, the ocean has a calming effect. What will happen if there are no waves and the waters are just still? That experience itself is of that stillness. Mind becomes still. That is the state of a realized master. Still. After that, does it matter whether he is sitting or standing or walking? How does it matter? So that is the state in which this master is reveling. Further he says, Evam sadabhyasta samadhiyoginah sadabhyasta samadhiyoginah nivritta sarvendriya gocharasya hi indriyagocharasya hi vinirjita sheshariporaham sada vinirjita sheshariporaham sada drishyo bhaveyam jita षड्गुणात्मनः bhaveyam jita षड्गुणात्मनः. Evam. Whenever any verse starts with evam, we should understand evam means in this manner. Which manner? As has been indicated earlier. So in this manner, evam, sada abhyasta samadhi yoginah. Such a yogi, yogi means here a practitioner. Practitioner of what? Samadhi. Abhyasta, repeatedly he has practiced. And this person, this seeker, now because of repeated practice, he is in that stillness. He is able to maintain himself. He is abiding in that. In that stillness, where the body, the senses, the mind, intellect, all these are the waves. All these waves have calmed down. Nivritta sarvendriya gocharasya hi. What kind of yogi is he? All indriya gochara. Indriya means senses. Gochara means the objects of the senses. Indriya gocharas, all the objects of the senses. Nivritta, he is free from them. He is withdrawn from them. Means he is not experiencing anything through the senses. There may be objects, but he is not affected by them. Nivritta, he is free from it. For example, somebody retires. Nivritta is a translation for retirement also. So someone who has retired doesn't mean the office closes down. The office still functions. And that person can go there also. He may go there, he may sit on a chair, but none of the responsibilities affect him. Now there is no burden. Now there is no pressure. Why? I am Nivritta. So sansara is there. Objects are there. Senses are there. But all that contact of the senses and sense objects don't anyway affect him. Nivritta sarva indriya gocharasya hi. This person, vinirjita ashesha ripoho. These are all adjectives of the yogi. Who has jita. Jita means one who has won over. Vinirjita means he has won over and vanquished in such a way that he will remain victorious forever. Because sometimes in battle somebody wins, somebody loses. And the one who has lost, he will go, gather a bigger army, stronger army, come back and he may again attack. Here, Vinirjita means that he is won forever. He is victorious forever. What has he won over? Ashesha Ripu. Ripu means enemy. Ashesha, all the enemies he has won over. Oh, so this yogi also has enemies. He also has all these problems. Ripu means what? Ripu means the internal enemies, which is the desires, anger, greed, delusion, jealousy, arrogance, all these kinds of internal likes and dislikes, ragadvesha, all these are the ripu. He is won over all of them. Why? Because now he is experiencing that bliss. So therefore, where will there be any desire? And if there is no desire, all the others, nothing will exist because there is no desire. If there is desire, only all the others will exist. Desire is there. If it is fulfilled, greed. If it is not fulfilled, anger. If somebody else is fulfilled, jealousy. If mine is fulfilled, others is not, arrogance. So all these are related to desire only. So all these are called Kamanuja, means younger brothers of desire. Because after desire is born, others will soon be born. So here, all these ripu, all these enemies, vinirjita, ashesha ripu. He has won over all of them. How? He has not waged a battle against them. He has realized his self, all these have become powerless, non-existent for him. Not only that, last word of this verse, Jita Shadguna Atmanaha. Shadguna Atmanaha. Atmana Shadguna. These 6 types of problems that anyone may have, any embodied person may have, he has won over them also. What are these 6 problems? They are called, in the Shastra it is called as Shad Urmi. Here also I think in the book, somewhere it is given. On page 109. Shad Urmi, in the footnote number 2. It is a very small lettering. We may need a magnifying glass to see. But it is a 6. Urmi. Urmi means waves. Very interesting. This Shadgunatmanaha, here the verse uses the word guna. But actually what it means is the 6 different waves which keep on, raising us and putting us down. These are the waves. What kind of waves? So, at different levels, there are different types of things. For example, for the body, old age, death. We like birth. We like growing up. We like maturing also. But somehow old age and death, something, we don't want that. See, there is nothing to prevent other stages, like I don't want to be a youth. Like that, there's nothing. But there is anti-aging cream. I don't want to age. Jara, it is a problem. It disturbs us. And mritihi, maranam, that also nobody wants. If it is said that liberation will be gained only after death, then we will say we are not in a hurry. We will get it later. But Shankaracharya says you don't have to wait for this death of the body. It is available here and now. Then, the Jivan Mukti. That is perhaps one reason because of which majority of people feel that scriptures is to be studied only after retirement, because we are moving closer to death. Then we will read something and then we will be liberated when death happens. But we don't need to wait for death, because body anyway, I am not this body. How does it matter whether it dies or lives? I need to know who I am. Earlier the better. So, Jara Marana, gone at the body level. Okay. At the level of the pranas, the physiological functions that I do, whether it is breathing or digestion or excretion or circulation, all these things, this needs energy. And these energy consuming processes, the physiological functions, which is called as prana, it is the one which needs food, water. So, ashana pipasa, hunger and thirst, at that level of pranas. So at the level of body, old age and death. At the level of pranas, hunger and thirst. And at the level of the mind, shoka moha. Moha means delusion or ignorance, and shoka means the sorrow that follows. So these 6 are called the 6 waves, Shad Urmi. When it is, something is conducively happening, I am nicely going up, and then suddenly something changes, tuck, come down. Elation, dejection, elation, dejection. And I am not happy with this. I want it, but somehow I am not able to find it. So, Jita Shadgunatmanaha, these 6 waves that trouble us, persecute us, this person has won over them also. So, the 6 internal enemies, the states of the mind, and these 6 type of the urmis, the waves, all that he has won over. Bhagavan very beautifully says here, such a person, for such a person, who is this kind of a samadhi yogi, such a person, aham sada drishyah bhaveyam. Beautiful statement. We can view this from the standpoint of bhakti also, from the standpoint of knowledge also. Only such a person, such a seeker, such a purified soul, one who has practiced this for considerably long time, such a person only. For such a person, aham, I, drishyah bhaveyam, become evident. Means, in other words, I reveal myself. Now here Bhagavan, he is saying, Acha, so then once we do all these things, then suddenly we will start seeing Dhanusha, taking a bow and arrow, Bhagavan standing there in front of us and blessing us. Will we see that? Here Bhagavan is talking, when he says aham, he is not talking about a particular avatara, he is talking about the pure self. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, when Bhagavan says Shri Bhagavan Uvacha, it is not said Shri Krishna Uvacha. When he is saying aham, it does not mean the, Gurudev says, it doesn't mean the blue boy of Vrindavan. Then what is he? He is that supreme self. That supreme self, here Bhagavan Shri Rama also is saying, I become evident to such a person. How long? Sada, forever. That is the greatness of this yogi. That is how this sadhana progresses. So he says, such a person is always beholding me, experiencing me, abiding in me. Aham sada drishyah bhaveyam. I become evident to. But how the drishya word may be little misleading grammatically. Drishya means the scene, the one object of seeing. But this drishya does not mean object of seeing. Drishya means direct experience. In this context, we will be able to understand what Pujya Guruji told us in one of the satsangs. Because he mentioned and then he stopped. He said, Bhakti is that which makes the drashta into drishya. Drashta, the seer, becomes the seen in bhakti, which means who are we worshipping? That self only in this form. So, bhakti makes the drashta into drishya. Here, these words are used, that's why the context is there. And what does knowledge do? The knowledge makes all the drishya merge into the drashta. So in both this, only one remains. There is no two. That is the highest bhakti and jnana. And once the drishya has merged into drashta, then the question is, does the drashta remain? Because drashta means seer. But if there is no seen, then where is the seer? Because seer is always with respect to the seen. If there is nothing to see, seer, how can we call something drashta when there is no drishya? All the drishya has merged into drashta. So there is no drashta because there is no drishya. So drashta also goes. Oh, then what remains? Nothing remains. Then no, the drishti, the vision remains. That is a beauty. So here Bhagavan is using these words and saying, Aham tasya yoginaha sada drishyah bhaveyam. I become evident to that person as his own self. Not as something external, as his own self. But if we look at it from the bhakti standpoint, I, the drashta, become the drishya for him to worship. So that is why in the puja vidhi also, there is a step in the beginning itself called avahanam. We call Bhagavan and say, please come and sit here, whether it is a photo or an idol, anything, please come and sit here. So we say, where will he come from? Sit. Come here. And then at the end we say, Yatashsthanam pratisthapayami. Okay, now you may get back. Where? Shri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he actually experienced this while he was worshipping. That is why as he was worshipping Mother Kali, after some time, he started seeing her everywhere. And then he started seeing her within himself also. So he started putting flowers over himself. He started doing arti. So I can see her everywhere. So that is what. So whether bhakti or jnana, at the end only one remains. And that supreme is just the drishti remains. That vision remains. Neither the seen nor the seer. So beautifully Bhagavan has said. So what we are experiencing in meditation is that Bhagavan only. That Shri Ramchandra ji or whoever our Ishta Devata is, and that Paramatma only we are experiencing as our own self. I become evident. In Kathopanishad there is a beautiful mantra which says, the one who chooses the Supreme reveals itself to such a one. So, yame vaisha vrunute tena labhyaha tasyaisha atma vivrunute tanum swam. So, this mantra is there in Kathopanishad as well as Mundakopanishad. Both these Upanishads have this mantra. Because that revealing has to happen. So I just, oh, I am this. I know now. What was I thinking? These are all words that we are speaking. When we get there, only we will know what will happen to us. Again, further, Bhagavan is saying, Dhyatvaivamaatmanamahernisham munihi Matmanamahernisham munihi Tishthet sada mukta samasta bandhanaha Mukta samasta bandhanaha Prarabdhamashnan abhimana varjito Prarabdhamashnan varjito Mayyeva sakshat praviliyate tataha Yato tataha. Dhyatva evam. Again evam. In this manner, as has been indicated earlier, Dhyatva evam Dhyatva, practicing meditation in this manner. What we should meditate upon, what should be contemplated upon? Atmanam. So investing the mind in the self. This is the object of dhyana, object of contemplation. That evam dhyatva atmanam. Oh, acha. I am doing that. I am at least trying to do that. Half an hour in the morning, is it good enough? How long should I do? Ahar nisham. Ahaha means day. Nisham means night. Day and night. Puja Gurudev was asked, how long should we meditate? She used to say only 24/7. Enough. Not more than that. So, what does this mean? Ahar nisham, day and night I do this only. When will I get time to do something else? That something else exists, that is a problem. It actually doesn't. But for a person who has consistently practiced this over a period of time, then after that, whether his eyes are open, closed, he is always in that self only. That's why Shankaracharya ji says, such a person's mind, wherever it goes, there samadhi happens. Yatra yatra mano yati, tatra tatra samadhaya. So for such a person, no external conditions are needed. Everywhere. So such a Muni. Now these words also are significant for us. Muni means what? Muni means the one who has reflected upon the scriptures. Mananashilaha Muni. So Mananam can happen after Shravanam. Shravanam can happen only when we have Chitta Shuddhi. Chitta Shuddhi can happen only because of Karma Yoga. So this Muni, he indicates all these previous steps. That such a person who has done Mananam, such a person only is able to practice this meditation, contemplating upon the self day and night, all the time. See, this is this is not something impractical that is being talked about day and night, all the time. Nityam, eternally, unbroken, akhanda. All these words are used. We say, no, be practical, but this is practical. When we are, let us say we are money-minded. If we are money-minded, do we not think of money in and through every activity of life? Everything, what will I get? If I come to this morning class, will I get something? Kuch fayda hoga? here I want to invest, what returns will I get? If I have to invest my time also, what will I get? If I go to a party also, will I be able to network and get some deals? So constantly, a money-minded person is meditating upon money day and night, if that is possible. This is our own self. Why is it not possible? So after having practiced for a long time, and that exclusive practice is required in the beginning, but after that, it is constantly there. It is me after all. It is not something other than me that I have to put my mind in. It is me, myself. So, evam dhyatva atmanam aharnisham munihi sada tishthet. These words are also very beautiful. Earlier he said aste, means sits down. Here saying tishthet. Tishthet means stands up. And that too sada. There also sada aste, always sitting. Now sada tishthet, always standing. We really sympathize realized people. They keep on standing. मुझे नहीं करना ये, मुझे तो खड़े रहना पड़ेगा. Tishthet means one should stand, but it is not literally to be taken. Tishtha also means to be. So sada tishthet, he is always in what state? Mukta samasta bandhanaha. Bandhana, bondage. Samasta bandhana, all bondages. Mukta, he is free from all bondages. He lives in this world free from all bondages. Mukta samasta bandhana. Sada tishthet, always is living. So this is after realization also living. So death is not required for liberation. This is called Jivan Mukti, means liberated while living. Now, another question. If he is liberated from all bondage means what? Whatever karma has been performed in the past, the karma phalas will come, I have to go through them. So that is called bandhan. So all the karma bandhan is gone. So then what does he do? He lives means what? Now he doesn't have to do anything. So lives means, where is living? So he says, all other karma has been destroyed. All its effects have been destroyed. But those karmas whose results have begun. Begun when? With the birth of this body. They will have to be exhausted till the body is there. Because prarabdha means that which has begun. Arabdha, arambha, starting. So that which has already begun giving results, that is called prarabdha. Those karmas will have to give their results till this body is there. This body was born because of prarabdha, and according to the prarabdha only this body is taking its course. While exhausting these prarabdhas, we in our ignorance are gathering more karma. But for a jnani, he will not gather any more karma. And for those results which have not yet begun, that also got destroyed because of knowledge. But what is remaining is the prarabdha. It has started. Puja Gurudev gives this classic example which will make it very clear for us. That when there's a fan. Now when we turn off the fan, it doesn't immediately stop. The supply has been disconnected, but still it keeps on moving. There is some momentum left. So whatever has begun, it has to complete a few more rotations maybe. And after that, over. Then it doesn't have to rotate. Like that, this prarabdha also, it has started. Knowledge happened. Now there is no further movement. But whatever has begun, that has to fulfill itself. Till the body stays, prarabdha will happen. So, prarabdham ashnan. Ashnan means literally eating, but ashnan means going through this prarabdha, experiencing the results that have already begun. But how is he experiencing? Because we often say, no, these great realized masters, why are they falling sick? Why do they have diseases? Why do they have pain? We have these kind of questions. But for a realized master, pain is in the body, discomfort is in the body, and they know that they are not the body. It is like if my shirt gets torn off, I don't feel the pain. Like that, these Mahatmas also, they know they are not the body. That is why it is said, Abhimana Varjitaha. Without identification with the body, they go through prarabdha. Means what? And they are seeing. See, for example, our clothes, after we wear for a day, then we put them for washing. Now we put them into the laundry bag. From the laundry bag, they go into the machine. In the machine also, they go through different cycles of washing. Then they go on to the cloth line to get dried. After drying, they go again to the ironing. Then once it is ironed, then it comes back to the cupboard. Now this whole cycle, am I getting affected by this cycle? Nothing is happening. It goes through cycles. It is going through a lot of different experiences. But I was wearing it earlier. I just took it off and it is going through the cycle. So this is going through the cycle. Why should I feel anything? Like that, a Mahatma, Abhimana Varjitaha, non-identified with the body. Like when we remove the clothes, we are not identified anymore. It is separate from me. We can physically see it is separate. For a jnani, he doesn't have to physically remove it. He has disidentified. Therefore, for him, it is like he has taken off the body. So then, whatever cycle it has to go through, prarabdham ashnan abhimana varjitaha. Without being identified, without being affected by it, he goes through this prarabdha. And that is why someone like Bhagavan Raman Maharshi, he had cancerous growth. So then people, devotees went up to him, let us surgically get it removed and all, it is spreading. So Bhagavan Raman Maharshi said, they are also living cells. They have come to live with me for some time. I am not asking any of you to leave. They have come to live with me. Let them. I have no problem. They have no problem. Why do you have problem? Means that clarity is that this is not me. How does it matter? They have come to live with me for some time. What vision? That is the drishti. So it is there. Puja Gurudev was in cardiac care, intensive care. He was there. All with all these machines here and there, everything connected. He recently had a surgery, and after that somebody went to meet him and said, a little bit of recovery has happened. Then, Gurudev, how are you feeling? Gurudev said, shh, don't talk loudly. If the body hears that it is not well, tomorrow onwards it will stop working. So, don't let the body know. I have not told that it is sick. So, you don't speak loudly. It will hear, then it will start demanding what relationship with the body. That is a Mahatma. So here, such a prarabdham ashnan, going through prarabdha, but abhimana varjitaha, not considering that I am going through this. I have no relation. This is going through. Okay. I am a witness. Okay, it is going through. Fine. And such a person, Bhagavan again very beautifully says, Tataha, in that state, as he is going through this prarabdha, some point, this physical frame also ends. The prarabdha ends, this also ends. Now when this also ends, then, so he says, such a person, Mai eva sakshat praviliyate tataha. Thereafter, such a realized person, a realized self, merges in me only. Now, what is this merging also? This is only language. Because if there is a pot and there is space inside the pot, so we call it pot space, and we call it the outer space. Now there is a pot space and outer space. When the pot breaks, the pot space merges into the outer space. Is there something merging happening? Was pot space any time different from the outer space? There was no difference whatsoever. But when we were paying attention to the pot, we felt there is some pot space different from the outer space. But when our mind left the pot and saw the space, we realized there is only space. So where is pot space and outer space, and there's merging and all. But this is language required. Praviliyate, merges. Once and for all. Means that oneness becomes, even our limited intellect also can kind of comprehend that now this person is not limited to the body. That doesn't mean it is only after the death of the body that happens. That has already happened. In the sense, it was always there. But after that physical frame also falls, we ignorant people also are able to appreciate that aspect, that now it is not limited to the body, it is everywhere. That all-pervading self is that realized master. So this, after the falling of the body, mukti doesn't change. Mukti has happened long ago. So this, after the falling of the body, is called videha mukti. So liberation while living is called jivan mukti. And liberation that is already there, so there's nothing new happening, but the body fell, so that is called videha mukti. But these two muktis are not two different things. It is not that one step and then second step. There is only one mukti, because only one ignorance is the problem. As soon as that is destroyed, liberation has happened then and there. But this prarabdha also continues, and till the prarabdha continues, this body continues. Till that time, we say that he is still living. But for that person, there is no living or death, nothing. That person, everything is one and the same. Where is life and where is death? There is only life principle. That's all. So, Mayi eva sakshat. Mayi eva means in me alone, he comes and merges. And that merging has happened before itself. It is not only after the body. Even while he is going through the prarabdha, he knows that he is that supreme all-pervading self. But here Bhagavan is beautifully indicating, he comes to me only. So, this beautiful journey. So we have few more verses where Bhagavan is taking us to these heights. So we'll see them further in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.